Let's begin. Today's November 8th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 1, 10, 16, 19, and 21. And the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, and finally criteria card E. So criteria card A takes a look at our first digit, the triangle digit, and compares it to the number 1. So should the value of triangle be equal to 1, or should the value of triangle be greater than 1? Criteria card B will take a look at our 3-digit solution and will let us know how many of those digits are 4. Are there no 4s? Is there a single 4? Perhaps 2, maybe even all 3 are 4. Criteria card C again takes a look at our 3-digit solution, but this time it'll let us know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. Are there more even than odds, or are there less even than odds? Criteria card D will take a look at our first 2 digits, triangle and square, add them up, and compare the sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should the sum be greater than 6? And finally, criteria card E, again we'll take a look at our 3-digit solution, but this time it'll let us know a little bit about its structure, so to speak. Specifically, there are 2 cases. One where the 3-digit solution has a pair, as in the example 131, or alternatively, it has no pair, but there are 2 scenarios. One where all the digits are different, as in the example 134, or the second scenario is that all the digits are the same, as in the example 222. And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards we just discussed. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I like to test is criteria card C. Okay, so the Turing Machine does approve of my proposal. Notice that criteria card C is letting us know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. So if you look at the proposal 314, I do have 2 odds to a single even, and of course, the Turing Machine approves of that. So basically, we know that there should be less even than odds. Now, what are the possibilities here? Well, if there are a majority of odds, that means we have at a minimum 2 odds and a single even. Or potentially, we're looking at a 3-digit code that are all odds. So let's see. Let's go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so the Turing Machine does approve again of my proposal of 314. Notice that 314 has no pairs, and the Turing Machine approves of that. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section E. And we'll say that the solution has no pairs. Now, again, there are 2 scenarios. One where all the digits are distinct, as in my proposal, or it could be a triple digit, and a number repeated 3 times. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's see what else. So let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve this time of my proposal. So notice that if I add up the first 2 digits, triangle and square, 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 is less than 6, but the Turing Machine does not approve of that. So it's letting us know that the sum of the first 2 digits must be either equal to 6 or be greater than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section D. And that again is that triangle plus square is either equal to or greater than 6. Now, because of the equal, we really can't cross out anything because 1 plus 5 does give us 6. So we can't cross out anything. And of course, anything bigger than 1 can always yield us, well, most of the time, yield us a sum that's greater than 6. The only thing we can conclude is you can't have basically two small digits between triangle and square. You could have a somewhat small one, but then a bigger one. Okay. Well, that does it for this round. We have completed our 3 Turing tests. We're now going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice we did not test criteria card A, comparing our first digit, the triangle digit, to the number 1. And we did not test criteria card B, letting us know how many 4s are potentially in our solution. And of course, it's still outstanding what the sum of the first 2 digits are. The other thing I kind of notice is that there really is no mention of circle. So somehow that circle digit has to be forced to to a particular value. And typically, we've had previous puzzles where we had that ordering criteria, and that often led us to decide which way circle or, whatever other digit may not be mentioned in our criteria cards, how it would be sort of chosen or forced into a particular value. So in this case, it might have something to do with perhaps maybe the fact that they're all different. So let's see. Thinking back to criteria card C, again, we're either thinking of either 2 odds and an even or all odds. It is interesting, we have criteria card B. So somehow if there is an even, but there's no 4, maybe that somehow forces the digit to be a 2 if we can establish that it's 2 odds and an even. So what else could be happening? Let's see. Well, so I don't think you could have 3 4s, because if you had 3 4s, it'd fall under the no pairs scenario, again making this irrelevant. You could, well, and you can't have 2 4s because we know that you can't have a pair. So it's either yes, there's a 4 or not. So it's a sort of a 50-50. And so what else can we say? If we do have a single 4, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could have a sum of 6, meaning that we have a 1 and a 5 somehow, and then maybe a 4. That'd be the most likely case, something like that. And it could be that if triangle is large enough, it forces triangle to maybe be a 5 and then square a 1. So let's go with that. Let's do 514. Okay, so the whole point of that proposal was, yeah, the sum is 6. So let's go ahead and test criteria card and D again. Okay, yes, so the sum is 6. right, so let's update our notes here. And let's see. Can we deduce if there is no 4, does that necessarily mean, what would that mean if there is a 4? Well, it couldn't be in triangle and square because you would need another even and you don't have that. So, yeah, I guess let's go ahead and test criteria card B. Okay, so yes, there is a single 4 in our solution. So let's type that up. So the solution has a single 4-digit. And I guess I probably should have, once I established that the sum was 6, I should have been able to cross out the 2s and 4s in both triangle and square, since again, you can't have 2 evens, so there was no way to have a sum of 6 using 2 and 4. So let me go ahead and cross that out. And we've sort of already established that that circle digit must be the 4, right? Because we do have a 4. So let's go ahead and cross out everything in circle except for 4. And let's see, can we somehow deduce what triangle is? Is it the 1 or is it the 5? And I guess also, since we do have 2 odds and an even, and they're not paired up, that means that we should be able to also cross out the 3s, even though 3 plus 3 does give us 6. You can't pair them up. So we know it can't be a 3 either. Okay. So at this point, yeah, either triangle is 1 or it's bigger than 1. And so that should let us know. Yeah, and I don't think there's a way to deduce that. So let's go ahead and, yeah, just test criteria card A. Okay, so we picked correctly. 5 is greater than 1, so that must be true. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes. And again, say that triangle is greater than 1. So that means that triangle cannot be a 1. So let's go ahead and cross it out. And so that would leave squared to be a 1 in order for that sum to be 6. So let's go ahead and cross out the 5 in square. And so it looks like our solution is 514. Okay, so quickly, yes, our triangle digit is, our first digit is greater than 1. Yes, it's a 5. We do have a single 4. There are more odds than evens. The sum of the first 2 is 6. And there are no pairs. Yeah, it looks like that is our solution. So let's go ahead and verify that 514 is correct. So 514. Fantastic. Well, how do we do versus a Turing machine? Well, this was a 5 criteria card puzzle, but we did do 6 tests. In the first round, we did CDE, and D was the incorrect one. And our second round proposal was correct. It was exactly our solution. And we tested the remaining criteria cards, plus we retested D. So let's go ahead and type that up. So C was correct, D was incorrect, E was correct. We did the remaining two, A, B, and got D correct on the second try. So how do we do? Okay, so we tied. So somewhat to be expected, since of course we did have 5 criteria cards. We went one extra test. Just curious if there is a way where we could have maybe deduced one of these tests. I wonder if we could have deduced that the sum had to be 6. Hard to say, but how about you? How did you solve it? What criteria cards did you choose? And did you see anything interesting that you'd like to share? Add those thoughts to the comments. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find the channel. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.